Good evening. Welcome to Know Your Purpose. I'm Dr. Stacy Venable, and we are here at the Business Suites of Brass Mill in the podcast studio. We have one bit of housekeeping to do before we get started. We have to throw out that disclaimer. These are our thoughts, our views, our own opinions. We want you to know that we're here. We're just having a topic of conversation. This conversation is just to be broadcast so everyone can know how we feel about things that are going on in the world, entrepreneurship, knowing our purpose. So those are the disclaimers. We're not here to embark on anyone's feelings or infringe on anyone's beliefs or rights. We just want you to know that we're here spreading what we know about entrepreneurship just to help someone else who wants to start their own business or someone that's even in business. So yes, so let's get started tonight. We have our friend here, Reggie Shipp, and he is going to tell us a little bit about himself. I'm excited to work with him. I am his business coach, and I see great things upon the horizon. So I wanted to bring him out to show everyone else and let everyone else know the great things that he does that inspires others. So again, let's welcome Reg. I'm sorry, nickname Ghost. That's an inside joke, but yeah. Yeah, so welcome, Ghost. How are you tonight?
I am doing well, Dr. Venable. How are you?
I am fantastic. Doing this thing, doing this entrepreneurship thing, just loving life.
Good.
Loving life.
Good.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am Reggie Ghost Shipp. I am a entrepreneur. I have my own brand called Ghost the Brand, which is the house and umbrella company for multiple things such as modeling, acting, motivational speaking, you name it, I do it. Also, my fashion line that is going to be dropping sometime this year.
That's awesome.
Yes.
I'm super excited. Tell us about your fashion line.
Oh, my fashion line. Ghost the Brand. That is the fashion line. And within Ghost the Brand, we're going to have a lot of clothing. We have our sneakers as well. We're going to be unveiling some other shoes at some point. But right now, I'm focused on the fashion piece of it.
The fashion piece of it.
Yes.
I know you do a multitude of a bunch of things. So right now, you're just going to focus on the fashion, or are you still focusing on the modeling, the acting, and all that good stuff too?
Well, good news is today I just spoke with a producer, and I will be filming a movie this month on the 25th.
Well, that is amazing. That's amazing. Again, how'd you find your purpose in all this? Because you got a lot going on, and our viewers need to know, because knowing your purpose is everybody has a purpose.
Yes.
And everybody's created with a purpose.
Yes.
A lot of people don't know how to walk in their purpose. A lot of people don't even know how to balance that purpose. So with you doing all these things, tell us how you balance and how you found that purpose.
Well, I'll say this. I found the purpose initially back in 2018. There was a tragic moment in my life. And coming out of that, it was revealed to me by God that I needed to be able to give my testimony in a different way.
Sure.
Because prior to that, I was an athlete who also went into coaching professionally and then owning my own arena football team on a professional level. So with doing that, I was able to pass along the knowledge and my testimony to my athletes and those fans that we had a chance to interact with. Mm-hmm. And once 2018 hit, life went into a totally different direction, and God revealed to me, hey, there's other avenues for you to utilize to live in that purpose of giving back to others and being able to share your testimony in a way whereas it's going to make a difference in somebody else's life.
Now, I can tell you that a lot of people say, you know what, I knew what I was going to do early on in life. I had no idea. A couple of weeks ago, I shared on my show that I started out as a hairdresser. Then I went to, yes, I started out as a hairdresser. Then I went from being a hairdresser to a daycare provider, from a daycare provider to a business owner, owning my own daycare. So your purpose and your visions change. They change dramatically. I think they change with the age. They also change within the atmosphere that you're in.
Yes.
So how did you start? You started this with being an athlete, and then what walked you into everything else?
Well, I had an opportunity to get invited to be a part of a project called Classic Men of Virginia.
Okay.
And that was a model call that was done by a very prestigious photographer out of Virginia, Lachelle. And Lachelle offered me that opportunity. I said, why not? It was my first time really in front of a camera from a modeling standpoint. So it was a little nerve-wracking. You know how we get to a point where we're taking selfies and trying to figure out the angles just to make ourselves look good. But to have somebody instruct you on your poses and things of that nature,
it's difficult. Whew. It's difficult because, like I said, I'm so used to being in front of the camera that now when I take a selfie, I'm trying to make sure that everything is just at angle because I'm so used to being in front of. And let me tell you something, modeling is a hard thing.
It is.
A lot of people think when you just get right there in front of the camera and they're going to take pictures and no. I've been on sets for 12 hours.
Listen, we started out at 9 a.m. in the morning.
I've been there.
Myself and about 8 other gentlemen. And by the time we finished, it was 10 o'clock at night.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, you're tired. And
I remember I used to have to just go home and ice pack my face because all the makeup, taking it on, taking it off. I remember having a big display of different wigs, hair, everything. I remember my son used to walk up and tell, which one you gonna wear today? I mean, I'm just telling you that industry is it's competitive.
Yes.
Okay. And if you're not there for what you need to be there for, that culture will eat you up and spit you out. Absolutely. I'm trying to tell you.
See, I never saw myself as a model because stereotypical models, you know, prototypical models, I'll say it like that, are 6 feet, skinny, you know. Yeah,
that is, but that's not the way of the new world. That's not the way of the new world because I'm only 5'4".
Really?
I'm only 5'4". Really? I should have never even hit the industry, you know?
Wow.
But times had changed.
Yes.
Fashion had changed. So I actually met the mark of the fashion of what was going on within that time frame.
Okay.
So the gentleman that discovered me, I was getting on the bus.
I can't see you on public transportation.
Well, it wasn't public transportation. Hey, I've been on public transportation before. Let's not even play that game. No. I was getting on a bus for a conference.
Okay.
And he was like, wow. He was like, you ever thought about modeling? I'm like, no. Everything was a no for me because that was not a part of my vision. Okay. That wasn't a part of the purpose that I was even thriving for at that time. At that time, I was teaching and I was motivating, and that's what I thought God had for me. But when I opened up the door and said, you know what, let me give this a try.
Right.
I wound up doing fantastic at it. I just did my last show a couple of months back, and I gear to say that I'm not doing any more shows.
Why?
Oh no. Because again, I think you can relate to this. Sometimes you know when you're finished in the industry.
Yes. Sometimes
you have to know to let go of that industry.
Right. I mean, it was the same way that I felt when it came down to football.
Yeah.
You know, I retired 4 years ago from the game, and I had felt like I've given it all that I had.
And that's how I feel. And I said this, matter of fact, I said this 6+ months ago when we had our women's conference. I'm done. I told my photographer then, we were trying to get some things together, and I kind of snowballed them because I was like, you know what, I'm done. I'm literally done. This takes a lot of time and energy.
Yes.
And with his passing just a few weeks ago, that kind of put the affirmation on the fact that I'm done.
You know,
okay. I'm done. I got a few phone calls a day, and I was like, no, I'm done. You know, what I have is his memory, and I can keep that going. What I want to do is work more towards the legacy of what he taught me, and to go on and teach other people on what he taught me. Right. So yeah, it's that was enough for me in that industry. But as we walk through that industry, we also have to figure out what our ups and downs are in that industry.
Yes.
So you want to tell somebody your ups and downs, and because I know you're into a lot of things. Keeping that thing balanced, because I'm having a hard time keeping this entrepreneur stuff balanced. Look, my audience already know I'm having a hard time because, again, the Business Suites at Brass Mill has grown to the campus of Brass Mill, and we're just opening up 3 new buildings at once. That was not a part of my vision.
Right. As far as being able to keep the balance, for me, it's understanding the family principles.
Okay.
Understanding.
All right, here we go. Nuggets. Write them down. Here we go.
Understanding the family principles first.
Okay.
Making sure that family is at the forefront of everything that you do.
Yes.
Like when I transitioned from football, I wanted to leave a legacy for my family to remember.
That is amazing. I talk about that all the time.
And with that legacy, they understand, okay, our dad went from a player to a coach to an owner. And within that process, thus they saw me go through my highs and my lows, winning, losing, money, throwing money out of the window, gaining money, fame, all of that.
Sure.
They saw every aspect of that,
Sure.
but then they saw the ugly side of it.
Whoa, let's stop right there. Because that's what I want to talk about. Because a lot of people that see me, they see, okay, that's Dr. Venable. She's well dressed. She's well this, but they don't get to see the ugly side of what we go through as entrepreneurs. They don't have to do the 15-hour days. They don't have to do, literally, I demoed my own buildings. I will not ask any one of my staff members to do anything that I won't do. Myself.
And that's what I used to tell my coaches and my
players.
And
see, they just think, hey, you got this fame, you got this fortune, you riding around a Maserati. Hey, listen, I work for that. I work for every penny of that. So nothing, especially when you're self-made.
Right.
Because I was self-made. Okay.
I was as well.
So
nobody gave me a handout.
I think people that are, this is just my opinion. I think people that are self-made, we tend to hold things a little tighter in higher regard, because at any moment, if we give up on ourselves, it starts the avalanche effect of just losing it all. So I want to let's talk about that.
Well, the ugly side of it was when, we went to go to a different level as far as the professional arena leagues. We went to I transitioned the team from Richmond down to Hampton. And in the midst of all of that, I had some of my pundits who didn't want us to exist.
Oh, we have those.
Because of the level of competition. Plus, I was not the complexion for the protection.
Well,
so they made a lot of noise that put a lot of roadblocks in the way.
I'm sure.
Which cost a lot. It cost me a lot of money. We never really got off the ground in Hampton, and with not getting off the ground in Hampton, it kind of put a black eye on the organization as a whole.
See, that's another thing. That people don't see.
Right.
They don't see the contentious behavior behind the scenes of what's really going on. Because we didn't always start. We weren't always the Business Suites of Brass Mill. We were named something else, and that went crazy. It went a flop. It was over. But something. I'm not gonna say something. I'm gonna say it. God told me to stand still.
Okay.
And when I stood still, I said, you know what? I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to, no. And at this time, I only had this one building over here.
Okay.
And I said, no. So I said, come, hell and high waters, I'm going to stand. And once that, I'm telling you, but behind that closed door, oh my God, I cried like a newborn baby. Like, you know what? This is not fair. I kicked, I screamed, but outward, I couldn't show anybody that.
Right.
That's what I keep trying to tell young people. I had a phone call today that somebody wanted to start a business. She said, I've been trying to start a business forever, but this person said that, this person said that. And I said, well, what do you want to do? And I had that what do you want to do moment in my office.
Right. You have to be willing to stand fast.
Yeah.
You have to be willing to stand fast through all the storms that may come your way. Because life is never easy.
No, it's not.
It
was never easy for me. I know some people who say it was easy.
It looks easy from the outside.
It does.
It looks easy from the outside, but nobody realized the sleepless nights I had during that process. The driving up and down. I also worked a full-time job.
Yes,
I worked a full-time job at the same time.
Let's talk about that.
Would leave that full-time job.
Right.
I had a business meeting in Atlanta. I would have to immediately get on the road, drive to Atlanta, turn around, do a turn and burn, and come on back to Virginia after 8 hours of being on the road going down there.
Everybody wants to be an entrepreneur until they really get deep in there and they find out, that this is hard work.
Yeah.
Being uncomfortable made me who I was.
My saying has always been, you have to be able to be comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Love it. I love it. There's a nugget for you guys. And another thing that I realized a couple weeks ago, everything that I went through was necessary.
It's always necessary because there's lessons in it.
Yeah, thank you. Let's talk about the lessons in it. I'm telling you, I said to myself, this is not fair. Well, God said, I'll show you favor, but he never said it was going to be fair.
Right.
So I had to go into that other part of who I was to keep understanding that this is an industry, this is a business. And I keep telling people all the time, the first thing about being successful, you have to change your mindset. You have to change your mindset.
And you tell me that
I do.
All
I
the
do.
time.
As your business coach, I tell you all the time.
It wrecks my nerves, but
I know, and I know I can wreck nerves. But the key thing here is to make sure that we're victorious at the end of it.
absolutely.
You know, because I literally had to change my mindset once that one business went downhill, right? I had to change my mindset and say, you are more than a conqueror. You're more than this. Like
Yes.
I literally went into talking to myself mode, which is very and the mental piece. People don't get to see that mental breakdown was there.
Wow.
You know,
No,
they don't, and in this business, this entrepreneurship business, nobody gets to see that. That's why it's so good. And I tell you, and then everyone else that I coach, you have to have. You remember the people? You have to have the
OPQs.
The OPQs in your life.
Only quality people.
Only quality people.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. You have to have that support system. Let's talk about your support system, because now you went as an owner. Mm-hmm. That's gone. Now you just stepped into another realm.
Yes. For me, it was always about life after football.
Life after football.
Life after football.
And this is what you're embarking on now. Life after football.
Life after football. And it was I'll be honest with you. Let me go ahead and I'm gonna segue to this. I was scared. I was scared of it.
Right.
Because once you have that taste of I've fallen, mm-hmm. It's like a baby. It's like a baby.
I talked about that.
The baby falls, mm-hmm. and they're afraid to get up and try to walk again because the fear of falling again.
Absolutely.
So stepping into modeling, stepping into acting, stepping into doing my talk show, Let's Talk About It with Ghosts, stepping into now doing fashion.
That's a lot of steps.
Those are major steps.
And the crazy thing about it is I've seen you do all of those steps in 30 days.
30 days.
I've seen you hit each one of those steps. Okay. And the passion that you have for that defines the purpose and the drive that you set. So absolutely. Right now you're setting the tone, but I still sometimes, even though I'm your business coach, I look at the balance of everything.
Right.
That's why you have to have that support system.
Oh, it's very important.
You have to have that support system, because there's days here at Brass Mill, my staff doesn't see the anguish in me. They don't see the I am tired, because I am always the answer.
Right.
I live my life as I am the answer. But sometimes you need to go and be replenished for someone else that knows the answer too.
Absolutely. So you have to have somebody to replenish your cup when your cup is empty.
Absolutely.
And that can be someone from a spiritual perspective, or a business coach, or family members, or particular friends that you trust.
Absolutely.
That are in your circle.
Because and a lot of people get that cup thing mixed up. A lot of people get that fill that cup, because that cup that you're filling isn't meant for you. It's to pour in to others.
Exactly.
Okay. So that's one of the things that I want to talk to you about, the motivational speaking, the working with the at-risk youth, that you filled that cup, and you're not being selfish with that cup. You're pouring.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that a little bit.
For me, I have been an advocate for the youth for a long time.
And that everybody knows from Harford County to DC to beyond, that youth are my thing.
Yeah. I've been pouring back into the youth ever since before I know it, and realized that my grandmother, who now has a park in the city of Richmond, mm-hmm. named after her.
Wow.
Because of her community service work. I used to come back home every summer, mm-hmm. just to help out and work in that community center, mm-hmm. for nothing. We would take kids on bus trips from Richmond to DC to go to the museums, to go to the National Zoo in DC. And that's where I learned my love for giving back and being able to pour into others, just from that small moment that mm-hmm. I had with those kids, and seeing the smiles on their faces, and
of
being
course.
able to impart into them the lessons that I learned through the teachings of my grandmother and my aunt, and those women that were very important in my life. So for me, it's all about giving back, because these kids nowadays, they have no idea.
No idea. They have no idea. I literally talked to my son about this the other day, about making sure you stay grounded in your purpose.
Yes.
Because there's so many things that'll come at you that will just the distractions are just. I tell people staying focused is so hard.
Yeah, it is.
Staying focused is so hard. And when you have that so many things going on within your life, that focus tends to just shift all over the place.
It does.
But once you lose that focus, you are now deemed for anything that's coming your way. And as a football player, okay, you got to stay focused because you never know when that ball's coming to you.
When it's coming to you, you have to worry about that guy. If you play on the offensive side of the ball, that linebacker's going to come to knock your head off. And at that point, your career could be ended in that moment.
That is no different than entrepreneurship.
It's not.
And owning your baby, your business. That is no different than being on that football field and making sure you're staying focused so no one will rock your tail up off your feet.
Exactly.
And I told my son that just the other day. I said the way to make that happen, the way to make sure you're staying focused is always be available, always be ready to learn, always be ready to listen. My son and I used to go on dates all the time, lunch dates, and we would do all these little different dates. And the other day he said, "You know what, Mom? Our lunch dates have turned into business dates."
That's powerful.
That is because being a mom raising kings, it's a hard job. It's a hard job. So that everything that we do as parents, everything we do as entrepreneurs, we need to be looking at the legacies that we're keeping and leading. Because someone led the way for us. Now, some of us didn't get led.
Nope, I didn't.
I can tell you right now, I came from I'm one of 7 kids. My mom had a very 7th, 8th grade education. You know what I mean?
Right.
And she taught me the things that she knew.
And it can only go but so far.
And it can only go but so far. So as we're working in this entrepreneurship, we have to keep in mind that everything we do is under a microscope. And we have to make sure we keep focused, grounded, and we talk about that all the time.
Yes.
Within the mindset that we have to make sure that we're improving daily. We're improving daily within ourselves. And I'll tell you one other good thing. Entrepreneurship isn't for everyone.
No, it's not.
It's not. It's not for the weak. It's not for the faint heart. Because if you come in here, I'm telling you, Doc gets real with you. Doc get real with you. I know. Look at you. Doc gets real with you.
Listen, it's days that I hate talking to you.
Oh, wow.
It's days that I hate talking to you.
What?
Listen.
Oh, my.
It's like, look, I'm going to tell your viewers.
Oh, you're going to tell the viewers.
Come on in here.
Wow.
Listen, this lady, they say 10 toes down. No, she put 10 toes up in you. But it's all love, though.
But it's all love because, for us to be just African-American people alone, making it in this culture, making it in this business, making it in this industry, because hey, this is let's tell the truth. This is a man's industry.
It is.
But for a woman to come in, for a woman to come in and turn things around within 30 days and say, hey, look, I love what you're doing over here, but let me try to change your mindset to get you over here. Yes. Let's talk about that trust factor, because again, viewers, this young man came into my office with his mind already made up. So the first thing of being a great business coach is I had to figure out the approach. And sometimes he complained about my approach. Ladies, he complained about my approach. She is hard. But I'm wondering now, here we go. We're going to step into something crazy, right? Would your approach been different if it was a man?
No.
Oh, I don't know, people. I don't know.
And I say my approach would have been no different.
Okay.
Because I'm a true alpha male.
Okay.
And when you're used to being that lion, that Mufasa that's roaming that jungle.
Let's talk about it.
There's nothing that is above you.
Okay.
So having that mindset, it wouldn't have been any different because I'm gonna look at him. We probably would have got to fighting. probably would have threw hands.
Oh my goodness.
Close the doors and throw hands.
I promise you, viewers, I was not that hard on him. I was not that hard. And I know some of my men clients are probably saying, that's not true. But I was that hard because you have to have, again, now I'm a part of that support system, and we want to make sure that you're elevating yourself. Let's talk about that fulfillment.
Absolutely.
What brings you that fulfillment? Because I know what brings me fulfillment. What will bring me fulfillment is seeing you succeed.
Yes.
Everything, everything that I touch, I want it to grow. Okay. Every seed that I plant, I'm going to keep watering it because I want to see what it blossoms into.
Well, for me, that fulfillment is being able to, and I go back to the word legacy all the time.
Mm-hmm. It's my favorite
being
word.
able to see what I created be passed down to my children.
Oh, yes. This is why Brass Mill exists.
And seeing my accomplishments put smiles on the faces of my children and have my children be proud of their father.
Oh, wow.
That is the fulfillment for me. It's not about me. It's what I want to leave behind for them at the end of the day. Because we can make money all day long.
We sure can.
But as the old adage is, you can't take it with you.
Sure cannot. I'm still trying to figure out a way.
So I can't take once I'm gone. I'm gone.
Right. Yeah.
They can Ghost of Brand can't be piled up in the casket and clothes put in there. And
that's facts.
Movie reels put in there. No, it's going to be left behind for them to carry on well beyond my lifetime.
Well, listen, I'm so glad you talked about that because I already told my kids I'm not leaving them nothing. No. Then I told them they better not get to fighting over no casket or nothing because I'm not leaving nothing. Because what I'm doing now is giving them everything up front. I'm giving them everything up front.
Okay.
I'm giving them how to build, what to expect from the building process.
Yeah, it's a process.
It is. And my son, I want this podcast studio. I said, well, wait, you want what? But I made him go back and I made him look at the business plan. I taught him something that he can teach his children and his children can teach their children because nothing was left to me. Nothing was left to me. And I think that's back in the day with our great grandmothers and all that, their houses were left. And now, this day and age, we weren't left with anything.
No.
But I had to stop and think the other day when I made that comment, I had to retract it. Because my mother left me with a lot of things.
Okay.
They just weren't those they weren't materialistic things, but they were lessons. They were lessons that I can pass down to my children, my grandchildren, and they can keep that ball rolling. But one thing I can tell you is being an owner and thriving from that ownership, that gives me enough ability to say I made it. Now, anybody can make it to the mountaintop.
Can you stay?
But can you stay?
Right.
That's the problem right now in entrepreneurship. People have made it, but can they stay? What do you think? Can you stay? And what gives you the ambition to stay? Because you're right now, audience, he is doing a whole bunch of things. Okay. We're modeling, we're motivational speaking. We are into fashion. We're into acting. Anybody that hasn't watched his show, he has his own show. I mean, you name it, he's doing it.
Yes.
But people don't see the rhetoric behind the scenes.
No, they don't.
Of all you do, people don't see that.
They don't.
And for people that are out there to getting ready to jump in and do all these things, you have to find and make sure that your passion fits your purpose. How's your passion fitting your purpose?
Because it allows me to continue to give back. That's how it fits my purpose. Everything that I do, from the motivational speaking to the acting to the modeling, there's a message. Even with my shoes, let's talk about the shoe. Listen, I was amazed when when we go to Foot Locker, we know Jordan. Right.
We know Michael Jordan. I own several pair of his shoes. But to know someone besides my shoe diva that does my shoes, I've never met another gentleman that has designed their own sneaker, which is your sneaker's dope, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you.
I think I'm gonna suit it up and put a pair on. I'm gonna let y'all see, okay? I'm coming with them.
We'll see.
I'm coming with them. I'm coming with them. Ladies, I'm gonna do it for us though. I'll put a little different flair on it. I'm gonna suit it all the way up and rock them.
Okay.
I'm gonna see, because actually, the color of the shoe, which I'm gonna let you talk about the shoe.
Yeah, the shoe is, you can go find it at aliveshoes.com/ghost-the brand. You can find it there. The shoes are custom fit, custom creations from Italy. They come directly from over there, free shipping, you name it, it's there. Italian leather, suede. I wanted to make sure that when I created this shoe, that you were going to feel the luxury in the shoe.
Yes.
And the beautiful part about my shoe is there's a message in every
I thought that was pretty
shoe.
dope when he showed me that. I thought that was pretty dope.
On the tongue of the shoe, there's a message. And the first message was, when you think about quitting, remember why you started.
Remember why you started. All right, there's a nugget for you guys. For all you guys who think, I'm going to quit. No, you got to remember why you started. Saquon says you got them in a size 15, 16.
Absolutely.
Oh, okay. So that Saquon, you can get a pair. We're going to make sure you get a pair. That amazed me when you came into my office and we were talking about this shoe, and I was like, oh my goodness. I was like, I've never met anyone besides my shoe diva again that has designed such a great shoe. And also tell them that you can find it on your website.
Yes, you can find it on my website, ghostthebrand.net. I have all of my products, from some of my clothing I initially dropped last year, as well as the shoes are on there. You can find me in regards to booking for motivational speaking, acting, modeling, even becoming a guest on my show. You can hit me up there and we'll get you on the show, and we talk about real, raw, uncut, unfiltered, and very unapologetic things.
Yeah.
It gets real on my show.
It gets real on his show. It does. I haven't been a guest yet. So I got to gear up for that. I got to gear up for that. He's talking about 10 toes up. That's where I'm going to be at, 10 toes up on that show. But I got to gear up for that. Within doing all those things, tell me what's the next move for you?
The next move for me is looking forward to November.
What's going on in November?
November.
I'm excited. I don't want to tell everybody, but
I'm doing a collaboration with a very well-known and well-respected designer, Mac the Tailor.
Love it.
She has become my fashion mentor. The relationship and the collaboration, the bond that we've built in less than 30 days after seeing her at the Azura fashion show.
We were there. We loved it.
Yes.
That was an amazing show, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
That was an amazing show.
Yes, it was. And after doing that, we're collaborating on a fashion show in November.
Yes.
I'm not going to tell you what the name is. You got to wait on that.
You just got to wait for it.
Yeah. Got to wait for it.
Yeah, wait for that.
But my clothing line, Ghost the Brand, is going to drop the fall and winter line.
So let me tell you something. I am so excited to be both of your business coaches.
Yes.
So that's a win. But I could not see two better dynamic people to start bringing this back to us.
Yes.
Bringing it back to us in ownership. I'm super excited. I hear you're doing a suit line.
Yes, I am going to
talk about that.
Doing
from the streets to the boardroom. From the streets to the boardroom. So he's telling us that what we wear to work, what we wear in the streets, we can wear right to work.
Absolutely.
So I want to see, because everybody know how Doc is. Doc wearing what she wearing. She gonna make sure it's good. But I want to see them take me from the streets to the boardroom. I want to see this.
Just wait till the first sample comes out.
Wow.
I had an opportunity. It was a beautiful thing. I got back into my creative mindset because I have the ability. God's gifted me with the ability to do a lot of different things in life. Yes. And going back to me drawing and things of that nature.
Yes.
I was an artsy kid at one point. And finally sketching my first design.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
That was amazing. I was there for that, and that was amazing. I'm I want to talk to you really quick because you said something, I think it was last week or so. We were having a conversation and you were telling me that you were gifted in so many areas.
Yes.
So
Yes.
why did you drop the gifting?
Well, I'll be honest. As a kid, I went through a lot.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of traumatic things as a child, and with those things, it made me very angry.
Mm-hmm.
I was at the age of 5. I was boxing. I was playing football. I learned violin, how to play the violin. I learned how to play the drums. I learned how to play the piano. I sung. But being a violinist, being a drummer,
Mm-hmm.
being into the arts, that didn't help my anger.
Right. Okay.
So I allowed the traumatic things that I went through in my lifetime to transition me into sports. And sports allowed me and gave me the opportunity to inflict pain that I felt on somebody else without catching a charge.
Let me tell you, Nia Duncan was just on the show talking about the mental piece.
Yeah. So
She was just on the show.
In boxing, I could literally beat you down for three rounds, 9 minutes. I could fight you and not worry about catching the charge.
We just talked about this mental piece,
on the football
man.
field. I can knock your head off for 60 minutes and not go to jail, and feel good at that moment. Even though I still have to deal with it when I leave the locker room, go home.
I hear it.
But that's the reason why I didn't go into the arts and other gifts that I had, because of the pain that I was dealing with at the time. That wasn't going to be fulfilling for me.
Wow. You know, it's just, I'm telling you, I just talked about, I'm telling you, we talked about it, I think 2 weeks ago, about the mental piece that we've gone through. You know, I literally, I wore so many hats because I literally got a criminal justice degree because I saw my brother go through something. So I wanted to make sure that no other Black boy would go through that again. And my mom didn't have the knowledge. She didn't have the knowledge to say, you know, my son, read my son his rights. She didn't have the knowledge to say, no, that white police officer couldn't take my brother and leave him in down there and questioning for 8 to 10 hours and then threaten. She didn't know that.
Right.
So I can also embark on the fact of, you know, getting different angles and getting different views and getting different perspectives on things and channeling my anger to do different things. I still now work with a group with Pastor Tillman and his group, and we're actually we're writing a bill, you know, to make sure that young people understand their Miranda rights. Why did I get involved in that? Because the trauma that was dealt to us in our home, when my brother went through what he went through. So a lot of the things that I'm doing now, even within the community, is based off of what I've gone through in life.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
Sure.
You just spoke about Miranda rights.
Right.
So I've noticed that even with the way times are going now, a lot of officers don't read the Miranda rights to the defendants.
Well, a lot of the times because they don't understand them either. They don't understand them either. But here in the state of Maryland, okay. We do not, there is no laws on the books for younger people to say that they have to be Mirandaized, they have to do this and have to do that. That's why we're fighting right now to rewrite those Miranda rights. I'm sorry, let me correct myself. There's no law that says that. I always thought if my son is underage, they need to call me. No, there's no law to say they have to call me.
Oh, wow.
Right here in the state of Maryland, you know, that stuff that you see on NCIS and all them other places, Law and Order, that's make believe. But what's really happening now?
That's TV law.
That's TV law. But what's really happening now? I thought to myself, if my 14-year-old gets arrested, they got to call me. No, they do not. No, they do not. That's why we're fighting so hard. And then even if they read a 6-year-old the Miranda rights, does that 6-year-old even understand what it is? And a lot of times the police officers, when they go, I tell you what, I've never had a big situation, but I do recall a situation where I was with some people and the police officer literally pulled out the card and read it off the card. I was like, well, wait a minute. What is going on here? Like, did he just pull that card out and read the Miranda Rights? Yes, he did.
Wow.
So did he fully understand what he was reading to the gentleman? So
most of them don't understand the laws that they're upholding.
Most of them don't. Most of them don't. You know what I mean? And that's another part of the anger that comes from us and why I'm wondering if a lot of athletes feel the same way you do.
Yeah, we do.
I was angry, so that's why I went play football.
Absolutely.
So I can knock somebody's head off, and it don't count for nothing.
And sitting down in the locker room talking to a lot of my colleagues, that's what the motivating factor was. That and working hard so that they can take care of their families and get them out of the positions that
Sure.
in.
You know, I was just watching a movie on Disney where the little boy, he was like the breadwinner. And he had to go through all these things because he wanted to make sure that his family was taken care of.
Absolutely.
You know, and that's another big part of entrepreneurship too. We do this to make sure that our families are taken care of. But again, we have to look at the mental piece behind all this.
Yes.
Look at the mental piece behind all this, because people don't look at the good, bad, and ugly behind the scenes. Right. Of what you're about to embark on, being as though walking into a fashion industry that's already pre-built.
Oh, absolutely. It's already pre-built.
I had a hard time with rejection. I had a hard time with rejection. So that's why I never allowed rejection to even come around me. Because when I opened up the business suites at Brass Mill, oh man, that fire marshal man, he gave me a fit. But I was like, that's okay. That's okay, because we're gonna continue to thrive, and we're gonna continue to make sure that Brass Mill is on the mark.
Okay.
Because a lot of people, even in the industry that you're about to embark on, a lot of people don't want you there and don't even know why they don't even want you there.
It's always going to be a dog eat dog world.
Oh yeah,
I always going to be that.
And then I have to throw this out there. Uh-oh. Okay, you ready?
Uh-oh.
It's this world is more of a contentious man's world. So when you have a black woman that's screaming from a bullhorn, but it's okay for Joe Clark to have done that, but sometimes it's not okay for me to do that. So not am I only just being an entrepreneur, but I'm leading the way for other women to say, yes, you can, and you can be the I am answer.
Yeah.
And working with a lot of males, you got to walk in that place, ladies, are y'all listening to me? You got to walk in making sure you are owning your purpose.
Yes.
Because one thing about owning your purpose, it's yours.
Oh, absolutely.
That's just like
anybody else's.
No, well, wait a minute, because let me tell you something. Thoughts and purposes can be other people's too. It can be other people's, but if you're going in there for you, then that's different. Okay. But there's a lot of people that go into this entrepreneurship for family, for this and this and that. So they got a lot of other people in their heads. And no. When I walk through the business suites of Brass Mill and my clients come in, this is about I am the answer.
Wow.
You have to make sure when you're a business coach, you are that answer, because you can go and get this information from anywhere.
Yeah, you can.
What is it? Google and Safari, but this making sure that you're taking ownership in what you're doing. Because when this gentleman came walking in, I said, "Oh goodness, I got my work cut out for me." And my grandmother used to say, "Good old 30 days can make or break." but he didn't know me and I didn't know him, and he's like, you know what? And let me tell y'all.
Oh Lord.
This thing right here challenged me on every aspect of it. And just a couple of days ago, he came down to my office, knocked on my door. He said, Hey, you were right. I said, I don't need to hear that I'm right. I just need you to take it and do better. So that alone is a challenge.
Yeah. I mean, but the challenge part about it is the trust. It's trusting.
It is.
It's trusting, because you have to be able to trust those around you are going to be there for you.
Yes.
And help you through their processes.
Yes.
And a lot of people struggle with that. And because of how I came up, that was an issue for me. Being able to fully submit my trust to someone else.
Right. Oh yeah. Let me tell you something. And then being in the business of entrepreneurship, you don't know who to trust. You don't know why you trusting them, but you can't climb this ladder in entrepreneurship by yourself.
No.
I don't know of anyone, any millionaire that did it by themselves. I don't know any billionaire that did it by themselves. You have to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay. You have to start somewhere. So let's talk about where you go next. What in the next 5 years, where do you see yourself?
Wow.
I haven't now, ladies, gentlemen, I have not asked him this question. So I want to know from him tonight, where does he see himself? Because I can tell you where I think I see him, but I want to hear from you in the next 5 years. Because wait a minute, let me tell you this too.
Okay.
Businesses take about 5 good years before they really get up and really roll in, and you in 5 years, you'll know if you're supposed to be there or not.
Yeah.
So in 5 years, where are we going to see Ghost the brand? Where are we going to see that?
Wow.
We're gonna wait a minute. Not only Ghost the brand, we're gonna see your face. What movies? I mean, I'm like all into this thing here.
Listen,
make sure I get my 10%. It's stepping up to 33 and the third real soon. So I just thought I'd throw that out there too.
But she hit me with the tithes and offering percentage.
The tithes and offering percentage for right now. We got to baby step him into the 33. We got to baby step him into the 33 and the 3%.
I thought I was in church for a minute.
No. Hey, you know what? Hey, wait a minute. Church ain't nothing wrong with church now. But yeah, let's see where you're going to be. Where are you going to be in the next 5 years?
In the next 5 years, I see myself at the Oscars.
What?
From an acting perspective.
Hopefully not slapping anybody. Hopefully not slapping nobody.
No, I'll say that for the green room.
You gonna say that for the green room? Thank you. So he's gonna see himself at the Oscars, but not slapping anyone. Not slapping anybody. Where else are you gonna be?
From a modeling perspective, I see myself being on somebody's billboard on a wall.
You'll love it. I was on the billboard.
Yeah, I see myself doing
You'll
that.
Love it.
From motivational speaking, I can see me selling out an arena.
Awesome, I see that.
I can definitely see that perspective. My talk show, I can see it being syndicated.
Wow.
As far as my clothing line, I can see definitely Milan, Paris, New York Fashion Week.
This is what I need to hear.
Worldwide, I can see it global, not just here locally, not just in the United States, but globally, where I can go over to Paris and literally see somebody rocking one of my suits walking past me.
That is super amazing.
Yeah.
I am all for it. I saw a lot of those things already, and we're working right now to bring some of those things to fruition.
Yes.
So Ghost the brand and Mac the Taylor, they're here. They're here at the Business Suites of Brass Mill, and we love them here at the Business Suite. They're literally on property. They're literally here on the property, literally getting these things done in their own workspace. So I'm telling you guys, if you need a nice family atmosphere to come and work and just join the family of Brass Mill, we are bringing inspiring people that you're going to see in 5 years. Oscars, in Paris, Milan, all these things. This is what we're doing here at the Business Suite of Brass Mill.
I've loved it. I've loved the process.
This is what we're doing, and we're not. And I'm not saying that we're not help. We want to help everybody, but we can't take everybody on the journey with us.
No, you can't.
So that's why I'm very selective on where I put my cards, where I put my hands. So I want to let you know, our viewers know that I am one of their biggest sponsors, and we will be bringing the show.
Yes.
The Business Suites of Brass Mill is going to bring the show in November. So that's a little shoe in. So y'all keep watching because the Business Suites of Brass Mill is going to also help produce and host this show. We are not giving out the location quite yet. We do have a location. So be watching in your emails. We're going to be sending out private invitations. So if you are one of the put those loves, put those likes, put those comments, subscribe to any of our pages. Might it be Ghost the brand? Might it be Mac the Taylor? May it be the Business Suites of Brass Mill? But just come on out and support us, because I'm telling you, we are over here and we are working and we're getting it done.
All I can say is jump on board now, because once it gets in the sky, you might not be able to reach it.
Oh, we're not. Listen, if I tell my people, and I tell you guys all the time, if they weren't in the building process, once we hit the launch button,
it's over.
It's over. So again, this is Ghost and the brand. We love him over here at Brass Mill. He brings a lot of flair to the building. Mac the Taylor brings a lot to the building. We have a lot of people that are in our building, and then we want to make our building just like one-stop shop type place where you can get your hair done, you can get your nails done, get your makeup done. We have estheticians, we have everybody in this building. The new executive suites of Brass Mill will be opening soon.
Okay,
that's going to be a really, really dope place. We have a 27-seat boardroom, which I know you guys are going to pack. I know you guys are going to pack. We have a work empowerment force center coming. Okay. So we're going to have, so that way we can give back to the community.
Absolutely.
We do give back to the community on Tuesdays. We have a wonderful senior program, which I know Ghost chimes in on and talks all kinds of stuff to us on that one too. So one of the other great tools that we have here at the Business Suites at Brass Mill. So our podcast studio is doing something big. Our podcast studio is now in remodel phase.
Okay.
So they're going to bring in the photography piece. They're going to bring.
So I get my headshots.
That you can get your headshots.
I can pose.
You can do all. Look, you can strike the poses. So our podcast studio is under revamping right now. Some walls about to come down.
Okay.
Some new things are about to come to. Like I said, they're going to start the photography piece. They also have a makeup artist here that's starting here. Wow. That will get you ready for your photos.
Okay.
Then we have our very own Mac the Taylor, which I believe you'll be joining in for the stylist piece. So if you come and you want to come to prom or homecoming, or you want to just go into the business nice and sleek, hey, listen, we have a styler here where somebody's going to style you, somebody's going to do your hair, somebody do your makeup, and we're going to take your photo. Look at that.
Wow. That's a lot.
That is a lot.
That's a lot.
That is a lot. And we want to say thank you to our podcast manager, Saquon Spencer, who is literally driving and leading this charge.
Shout out to Saquon.
Shout out. Hey, what's that, my baby? Wait a minute. My baby. He is literally taken me to great challenges with him. But what I've learned is the more I challenge him, the more he builds. This young man is 24 years old.
He's a great teacher.
Well, thank you. The only thing I ever wanted for my sons was to do better than me.
As we all should.
And it wasn't even in a form of money or whatever. But I remember when my son first started working at Subway, he was like, I don't work at Subway. I said, yes, you do. I want you to be the best Subway maker there is. I want you, no matter what, if it's sweeping the floors, just be the best floor sweeper you can be. Because in that comes lessons, in that comes morale, in that you start building yourself to be the king that I need you to be. So I know a lot of 24-year-olds that don't work with their mother. He works with me full time.
I see.
Full time. So
every day.
Every day. If I'm on the clock for 12 hours, he's on the clock for 12 hours. My daughter works here.
That's a beautiful relationship.
Yeah. If I'm on the clock for 12 hours, they're on the clock for 12. A lot of times I'm in that building. My son said, you know what? I'll be right back. He comes back to get me.
Oh, special shout out, Kia.
Yes.
Kia,
we love you.
Kia
girl.
Kia did the Ghost to Brand website.
So yes, let's talk about that. We also here at the Business Suites at Brass Mill just launched a new websiting. Kia is our website design and manager. Kia and Saquon work along. They do your infomercials. What they shot his infomercial, they shot my infomercial. So if you're looking for an infomercial, we do those too. Keep an eye on our page because we're about to put some brand new flyers out to let you know everything that's going on here at the Business Suites at Brass Mill, the Executive Suites at Brass Mill, and our podcast studio. We'll also have some information for those of you who are at Delaware. I love my Delaware people. Your new building will be opening April 15th, and that is under the ownership of Dr. Stacy Venable. We are excited to open that building up. It's 3 buildings on that campus. We'll also have a podcast studio on there. We have an executive, and then we just have a regular branch. So that gives us about 8 different buildings that we'll be operating and running.
That's impressive.
All off of, and then listen, this all happened in 2 years. Tell me I'm not hungry. You have to be hungry.
Well, I used to tell my players you have to eat greedy.
Listen, am I eating greedy? Is that what?
Yeah.
Eating greedy?
Yeah, you have to eat greedy. And when I say eating greedy, I'm gonna let me break that down.
Yeah.
When you're eating greedy, that means you're eating like you never ate before.
Okay. There's a nugget. I like that. So as I'm building these buildings, I need to eat greedy.
Eat greedy.
Okay. All right, Saquon, they're teaching me something else, some more of that slang stuff. I'm going to be eating greedy.
That's football talk.
Oh, it's football talk because I'll tell you what, listen, I'm almost 50 years old, so I don't need to put no more poundage on. I thought you were talking about just eat everything. I don't want to eat everything. Now everything is good for you. But yeah, so we're excited. And again, Ghost, we love the fact that you have literally joined the Business Suites of Brass Mill. We support you. We love you here at the Business Suites of Brass Mill. You, like I said, you brought a flair to the building. We need some more of that flair in the building. What I like to do right now is we are getting ready to do a round table discussion.
Okay.
And what we're going to do is we're going to bring raw, true facts about relationships, about goals, about marriage, about everything.
Okay.
A lot of people have been writing to me and writing into me saying, hey, I know you know your purpose, but can we do this? So we have next month, we're going to do a round table. We want to invite you in. We want to invite you into our round table so you can bring the raw truth. A lot of people need to hear the truth.
Yeah. I mean, and that's what I do on my show.
Yeah, we know, but we gonna keep it. We gonna keep it just a little. We gonna give it a little bit better. You know, I'm not saying better, but we gonna ground that thing just a little bit better. But a lot of people are hurting.
Absolutely.
And that's another part of my mission is to make sure we're bringing informative information. So a lot of people are sitting back in their homes since this COVID and their mental stability is all over the place. But a lot of people I notice our age too, they've been through some things. And if we can tell our viewers what we've been through, maybe that'll help them from making that ultimate mistake. Because we've made a lot of them. Because I know I've made a lot of them. So that's one of the great things. So be on the lookout for that roundtable discussion. I'm hoping it'll go well because maybe we can do one once a month. I'm hoping it'll go well. Because it's gonna be raw, and it's not. Maybe it might not be for everybody to watch. We don't know, but if you watch and you love it, keep watching. So that's coming next month, and Ghost will also be there. We have a couple other great guests that'll be there. I'm just excited. I'm excited for all the new things.
Yes, I am as well.
I'm excited to see what's coming from these guys next. Let me tell you something. Being a sponsor, being a supporter, you have to make sure that they're gonna bring the best, and I believe that you guys are gonna bring the best.
I got homework this weekend.
And he has homework. Magda Taylor, he ain't started his homework, but I ain't even hear that from me.
No, I started my homework, but it's like going through this process. It's like breaking down the foundation and building it back up all over again. And now that I am diving face first into this, I am going to make sure that it comes out to be the best thing ever. You
said something very important. I'm going to leave people with this. Did you guys hear the nugget that he just dropped? Sometimes it's okay to sit down and revamp what you have.
Yes.
Because sometimes rebuilding it is what it needs.
Yes.
Because I rebuilt the building over there into Brass Mill. That was just my dream. I had to take it and rebuild it from what I had branded it to be, what I thought it should have been. I had to admit that wasn't what it was supposed to be.
Yes.
So sometimes within holding your purpose and knowing your purpose and knowing you were created for a purpose, it's okay to stop and say, let's revamp this thing.
Absolutely.
Let's start all over again.
Listen, we had a fight last week. Remember the fight we had last week?
We had a fight.
We had a fight last week. And you told me some things. I wasn't trying to hear
it. Like this.
I wasn't trying to hear it.
He wasn't trying to hear it.
But sitting back.
But the great business coach.
Yes. And looking at what it was.
Right.
What it needed to be.
Right.
It allowed me to say, you know what? You got it, Doc. You got it.
And like I said, with I think some of the things that I've learned as far as being a business coach, I don't want more for you than I want more for myself. What I want for myself is the legacy piece, but I want to be comfortable in it.
Absolutely.
I want to be comfortable in the things that I provide, and providing this service, you have to be on top of it. You have to, because gaining that trust from you guys is one of the hardest things, but also maintaining that trust level.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm not going to take Ghost the brand anywhere where I wouldn't go. And right now, this is our season.
Yes, it is.
And hopefully God will keep delivering us through different things so this could always be a part of our season. But while we're walking in our season, let's make it the greatest.
Absolutely.
Let's make it the greatest. So, ladies and gentlemen, you've heard from Ghost. You've heard from Ghost the Brand. Let me tell you something. Go ahead and drop those websites for them again.
GhostTheBrand.net. You can find me also on Facebook, Ghost the Brand. You can find me on Instagram, Ghost. That's Ghost. The Brand on Instagram. Follow me, support me. I love you. Love me back.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you've heard it here tonight. We got a lot of great things going on. Ghost and I are going to share the stages too, where that's another good thing you guys will be watching out. He and I are going to share the stage and do a good bit of motivational speaking. And we're going to love it. And we're going to love everything we do. It was a hard match. It was a hard match here, people. Don't let it fool you. Because Doc still come hard, but when she comes hard with good intentions. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching tonight. Make sure you join us next Friday for our next guest, and keep joining us Friday. We are on every Friday at 7:00, and we want to make sure that we're bringing informative information. And if there's anything that you want to come on the show and let us know what you want to do, please email me, call me. All my information is down at the bottom. And if you want to definitely leave something on Know Your Purpose podcast page, please do so. We have someone that takes a look at that every day.
Good.
All right. Good night, ladies and gentlemen.